history, past and present for you, meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too, with founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Film clips, photos, memories and friends, helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's 6 of the best, stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Let's take you back in time. A community of fans will take you for a ride. Handsome's cab will take you there. We're making history. HDPP, chatroom applauses. History supporting local causes. Streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest holy candy. Dangerous Den, here again. HDPP live. Hey, you know we keep it HDPP.
Good evening, welcome along. We should have had applause there. There you go. And we should have put the lights on too. There you go, good evening. Plug it in, lights, camera, action, and welcome once again to HDPP Live on a Sunday evening. How are you this evening? I trust to find you well. Are we all good? Everybody's good, ready to go? Oh, good. Well, we're busy in the chat room as always on a Sunday evening as well. We've basically got a man down. We've got to say hello and get well soon to Daniel Coburn this evening, who has popped in to say, I'm going to bed, I'm not very well. And I know what that's like, mate. I know what that's like. So get well soon, mate. Anyway, and well, as you can see, lots of people there chatting away as they always do. So good evening to everybody in the chat room. Even Jeff Wallace has now managed to join us. I was wondering whether he would make it tonight, but he's here in Brig and Anna's in Hinckley and can't get into the chat room. Oh, it'll be quiet in there tonight. Yeah. And welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Smugley, who are there as well. And lots of others enjoying. So there we go. We'd like to show you just what's going on in the chat room. Well, in the programme tonight, the programme makes it sound really professional, doesn't it? I've got it written down on a nice bit of paper what we're doing tonight. Well, you'll be pleased to know we'll be going back to the 1960s again for a reminisce about those heady flower powery days. We'll be going back to the decade that gave us the best music in the world ever. We'll also be we'll be doing some bullocking tonight. Are you ready, Mrs.? Are you ready to be bullocked? Yeah, well, there you go. We'll be showing the film of the bullockers going around the villages. We start in Sharnford and go around the villages doing that. So, and it's this time of year they do that. They bless the plough in the best way possible by going to the pub and singing lots of shanties. And why not indeed? And tonight we're going to take an exclusive. I'm going to take you diving in Stony Cove. We're going to go and dive in Stony Cove. So I hope you brought your swimming. Have you brought your swimming costume? And those that can't swim, stay behind me at the back here. And we've got plenty lined up. And we've also got a quiz tonight. So listen, we are all stepped up and ready to go. Good evening to Jennifer, just joined us from Spain this evening. The crops are here. And with Mr. Smuggley, we're all here. Yes. We're all here and ready to go this evening. So, with no further ado, I suppose we ought to do the quiz. 4 questions, very easy this week, but we have got an anagram. I've actually done an anagram this week, and, well, I just want to see how you tackle it, you see. But the rest are just general knowledge questions this week, because it just seems, just lately, that it just seems to be Sunday evening, and then next minute it's Sunday evening, and I haven't got round to doing a quiz. Just time's going too quickly for me just lately. So, with no further ado, let's do the old quiz then. So, get your pens and paper ready, because I think it is easy, but the anagram could be a bit more difficult. So, settle back and let's have a look at our weekly quiz. Previously known as 6 of the best, but with cutbacks, we've had to make it down to 4. So, I haven't thought of anything that goes with 4 at the minute, but there you go. Okay, then. So, your question 1, easy peasy. You see, we like to make them nice and easy, so everyone feels they can have a go, right? So what is a motorway called in Germany? Easy, really easy. I don't need to explain that any more than that. Easy. So even now, Mr. Smuggley said, I've got the anagram. I could believe that too before I've even aired it. Yeah. Question number 2. And once again, try and do this without going on Google and other search engines that are available. After how many years of marriage would you celebrate your ruby anniversary? How many? Yeah. Couldn't tell you myself. Think we've done that. Have we done that one yet, Mrs. G? Yes, we have done that one, I'm told. Thick ear coming from me later on, I'm sure. Okay, then. And there's one for you. And once again, without going and searching on Google, how much liquid can a flagon hold? Yes. Right, are you ready? Are you ready for the anagram? Let's put it on the screen then now, and I'll try and get... I've not put a clue deliberately this week. I thought it would be more cryptic. So, barking blotto, Mormon Roderich, or Roderich. Yeah, release Roderich. Oh, Carol Beasley's just arrived. Carol, where you been? We've been waiting for you, and we've had to start without you. Welcome. So, barking blotto, Mormon Roderick. Oh, anyway, there it is. Now, rearrange that, and you might learn something. Paul, was that a clue? I'm going to leave that to you. Reorganise that, and you might learn something. Quite clever, I thought, Paul. Right, so let's go through those questions one more time, because they really are easy. What is a motorway in Germany called? Pretty easy, we all know that. And Kraftwerk had a hit song with one. And also, question 2. After how many years of marriage would you celebrate your ruby anniversary? Okay, that follows the black... No, that precedes the black eye anniversary. That comes if you don't get this one right. Question 3. How much liquid can a flagon hold? I know Mr. Smuggley will know that one. I know that. I can just feel the waves of smugness now. And there you go. Barking blotto, Mormon Roderick, if you like. Rearrange that. And the cryptic clue to that is, you could learn something. You might just learn something there. But think local. There you are. Oh, Paul, you always have to give it away. Why do you give it away every time? Right, okay. We'll come back. We'll keep checking in on the quiz throughout the programme, of course, on this Sunday evening. Say good evening to everybody in the chat room. See, Kevin's here. Jane's here. Hi, Jane. Glad you've made it tonight. We know the Starnboroughs are here as well. Oh, we are doing well. So nice to have everybody there. And like I said, it's all for a bit of fun on a Sunday evening. It's what we do, really. Thanks for those that joined me this morning on FOSS 107. Really nice to have your company as well. Yes, always there Sunday mornings just lately. There we go. So, and what do you think to the snow? Now then, let's get down to snow business. There's snow business like snow business, is what we used to say. It took me back, actually, just to see the snow how it was. It took me back to my pantomime days. Oh, yes, it did. Right. And I could always remember that our producer, Brian, God rest him, often used to say, I suppose it'll start snowing, won't it? He used to dread the snow at this time because when the pantomime was on, obviously coaches couldn't go. And we used to have coaches coming from all over the Midlands and stuff to the Concordia pantomime. And, of course, they couldn't get through. So sometimes we'd have empty seats which were sold, but of course the people who wanted to come see the panto couldn't because they couldn't get because of the weather. So it put me in mind of that, and it was great to see it come for a little while. Great to see it come for a while. I would have preferred another couple of foot, personally, but it ticked on my, okay, that's good. And our grandchildren, first time they'd really seen it properly and to get out in it, they've loved it. So that's been good because it's going now and it's been thawing all day. And if you saw something on Channel 5 the other night all about the big freeze of 63, now that was a big freeze. I think they loosely bound around. We think we're going to have a cold snap. They start saying the big freeze. No, it's not. Let's get things about right. No, it's not. Go back to 63 or 47, then you can say it. Now, I can't remember 47, but I can assure you that these cold snaps we get, yes, it's cold, and yes, but they band around big freeze far too much. And then what bothers me is the fact that I'm going to go in my soapbox now. What bothers me, they're going to use this sort of terminology, and then one day it really will be a big freeze, or it really will be a big fall of snow. And we'll think, they always say that. It never happens. You know the little story about crying wolf? Yeah. Anyway. Let me get off my box now. There we go. Better. Okay then. So, hey, and look, you see, put my black shirt on tonight just for a change. I don't know why. I just thought it might contrast better with the curtains behind me. Does anybody clean curtains? Because these are due for a clean soon as well. Let's get into one of our features then, because I've rabbited on long enough. Let's go to our feature, which we've got here, all the bullockers. We're going to talk a load of old bullockers now. We've shown this many times, but I like to show it around this time of year because this time of year they take the plough around the villages and bless the plough. So hopefully they'll have a good crop and all the rest of it for the rest of the year. So let's settle back and enjoy a few minutes in the countryside, and we start in Shamford. Brilliant stuff. That's got us in the mood this evening, hasn't it? Absolutely. The Bollockers. Yeah, it is. It is. And like I say, they go around doing this every year, and I assume they're doing it round about this, it might have been very much today, who knows. But it's great to see. I love old traditions. Morris dancing, and I always ask, which one of you is Morris? And I know they're fed up of hearing it, but it's true. But it's great to see proper, the English traditions, and that's just brilliant anyway. Apparently, Marie does a good Morris dance. Thank you, Alan. We'll have to get her to do a turn. Probably do a turn at the Christmas party at the end of this year. How about that? There's a thought. We'll get Carol up to do a Nobody Loves a Fairy when she's 40. I think we'll get her to do that. Yes, Carol? Do you think so? Yeah. And then we'll get Marie to come and do a little jingle thing. You should just make it all up. And good evening to Anna, who has finally cracked it and got into the chat room, apparently. So well done, Anna. And as I say, we are currently going through our competition this evening. Do you want a quick look at just for the benefit of anyone who's just come in and missed us so far? Carol's just given me the thumbs up for the old, Nobody Loves a Fairy when she did a lovely rendition of that a couple of years ago. So we must do it. This December. Now, we're getting, I'm telling you, plenty of time. Wednesday, the 9th of December, 2026, is the Christmas party. I don't want any excuses saying, I'm going out. I booked you first, okay? So I want you there at the Christmas party, Wednesday, the 9th of December, 2026. There. No one can't say they weren't warned in plenty of time. That's what I say. Okay, good. Excellent. Moving on. Moving on, let's go through the quiz one more time. Here it comes then. So they're very, very easy as well this evening, by the way. Very easy, but the anagram might cause a bit of a stir. So what is a motorway in Germany called? It's not the motorway. So a bit more than that, but it is pretty well straightforward, that is. Question 2. After how many years of marriage would you celebrate your ruby anniversary? That you always celebrate it, I say, a year before the black eye anniversary, because if you forgot it, you're in trouble, guys. You know how they count the years for you. It's very kind of them, actually. Question number 3 is, how much liquid can a flagon hold? I had my answers here somewhere, actually. I must find them out in a moment, because I can't remember doing this one. Okay, yeah, we'll get that one sorted as well. Now, and also is your anagram this evening. Barking Blotto, Mormon Roderick, is, the clue is you might just learn something, but you've got to think local. Very cryptic, Gardner. Yeah, so you've got to think local on that one. Let me just look over to Mrs. G. Any joy yet, Mrs. G? No, she's looking a bit bemused and puzzled, but rearrange that and you'll get some names and you might just learn something. Can't be more on than that, but I thought it was a good idea. So see how you're doing with that. I am surprised at the minute that Mr. Smugly is not very smug at the moment. I'm sure he will be. Anyway, we'll come back to the quiz as usual after our next little feature, indeed. Now then, I think what we'll do, we'll nip back to the 1960s in just a few moments' time. Back to the decade that was, I was lucky, really. Because I was born in the 1950s. I know you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't. But I was old enough to remember the 60s because my older brothers and sister. So I grew up with their music before I came into my own sort of music of the early 70s and all the way through. So I was lucky. So I grew up with quite a range of choice of music in our house. We did. So I'm great songs. And I think this, as I say, always going back to the 60s, you never get tired of it because it was such a special time it was. So we've all got our own favourite decade. Some of us may have the 80s as their favourite, some 70s, 60s, some indeed the 50s. But as I say, whatever your favourite decade is, if you let me know, I can do a feature on a particular decade. But I picked the 60s because it's always of interest, isn't it? And this one doesn't go on. This one doesn't go on about the big freeze. So let's all go there at the minute. So settle back and enjoy this next feature as we delve back to the 1960s one more time.
The 1960s, a decade everyone remembers as glamorous, swinging, and full of promise. But behind the Beatles and miniskirts was a Britain that would look shockingly different through modern eyes. What people accepted, expected, and never questioned then would make most of us pause today. If you enjoy remembering how Britain really used to be, don't forget to subscribe. There's plenty more to come. Let's step back to that world, the rules, habits, and beliefs that once shaped daily life, and see just how much has changed. Let's begin with number 1. Getting married before moving in. If you told your parents in 1965 that you were moving in with someone before marriage, they might have fainted. Living together was seen as sinful, irresponsible, and socially disgraceful, especially for women. Landlords could refuse you a flat if you weren't married, and neighbors would whisper if they saw 2 toothbrushes in the same cup. Respectable girls didn't live in sin, as the saying went. Marriage wasn't just tradition, it was the border between right and wrong. Today, most couples live together long before tying the knot, but in 1960s, even admitting you stayed overnight was scandalous. Number 2. Dads who didn't change nappies. Fatherhood in the 60s came with firm boundaries: provide, protect, but for heaven's sake, don't touch the nappies. Babies were mum's job. If a man pushed a pram, neighbors assumed he was just helping out. Changing nappies, cooking meals, or staying home with the kids simply wasn't expected or encouraged. The image of a good father was someone reading the newspaper while mum managed chaos around him. It wasn't neglect, it was normal. Today's dads are praised for being hands-on, but back then, a man seen hanging nappies on the line risked becoming the talk of the street. Number 3. Kids playing without supervision. Children roamed freely. Fields, streets, and parks were their world. No mobile phones, no check-ins, no tracking apps. You left after breakfast, came home at dark, and no one panicked. Scraped knees, bruises, even broken bones were part of growing up. Parents worried quietly but rarely intervened. Today, it sounds reckless. Back then, it was freedom. A world where imagination replaced screens, and childhood was measured in mud, not megabytes. Number 4. Smoking while pregnant. It sounds absurd now, but doctors once recommended it. Medical posters suggested smoking could reduce stress for expectant mothers. Magazines showed glamorous women in maternity wear, cigarette in hand. And because everyone smoked, husbands, friends, even midwives, no one thought twice. Only years later did the evidence emerge, and the shock was profound. In the 1960s, lighting a cigarette after a prenatal appointment was practically routine. Number 5. Divorce as a disgrace. Few things carried more social shame than divorce. It wasn't just a legal process, it was a moral failure. Neighbors whispered, relatives judged, and churches frowned. Women were often blamed, men pitied. Even after the 1969 Divorce Reform Act, it remained taboo. Children from broken homes were treated differently, pitied or avoided. The idea of remarrying was scandalous, especially for women. Today, divorce is seen as part of life. Back then, it could end your reputation overnight. Number 6. Gender roles everywhere. Every advert, magazine, and TV show reinforced one message: men lead, women follow. Husbands mowed lawns and earned paychecks. Wives cleaned, cooked, and smiled through it all. Even the toys followed suit. Boys got cars and soldiers, girls got dolls and toy irons. It wasn't questioned, it was structure. Household products were marketed with slogans like, "Because that's her job," and people agreed. Looking back, it's jarring. But in the 1960s, equality wasn't a topic. It was a fantasy. Number 7. Women leaving work after marriage. Many companies had an unwritten rule. Once a woman got married, she was expected to resign. Married women's jobs were seen as temporary until a husband came along. Banks, offices, and schools quietly pushed women out, assuming they'd be too busy keeping house. Those who stayed were often called selfish or pitied. It was believed that working women took jobs away from men. Today, the idea sounds absurd, but in the 1960s, a woman choosing career over family was viewed with suspicion, not admiration. Number 8. Keeping emotions to yourself. The phrase "stiff upper lip" wasn't just cultural, it was expected behavior. You didn't talk about feelings, you didn't cry in public. If you struggled, you kept it quiet. Depression wasn't a medical issue, it was being moody. Grief, anxiety, loneliness, these were private matters to be faced silently and with tea. Therapy was almost unheard of, and mental health carried heavy stigma. Today, people share openly, encouraged to talk it out. But in the 60s, silence was strength, and vulnerability was seen as weakness. Number 9. Dressing up for everything. People in the 1960s in Britain dressed properly, and by properly, they meant formally. You wouldn't dream of popping to the shops in a tracksuit or jeans. Men wore ties to the pub, women wore gloves to church, and even children had best clothes for visiting relatives. Clean shoes, pressed trousers, tidy hair. It wasn't vanity, it was respectability. Looking smart meant you belonged. Today's casual world would have seemed sloppy, even rude. In the 60s, appearance wasn't about fashion, it was a moral statement. Number 10. Doctors you didn't question. The family doctor was practically divine. If he said, "Take these pills," you did. No second opinions, no Google searches, no discussions. Doctors smoked during consultations, called patients dear, and never explained side effects. People trusted them completely, sometimes too much. Medicine was a matter of faith, not knowledge. Today's patient autonomy would have been unthinkable. Number 11. Keeping up appearances. In the 1960s, reputation mattered more than reality. Families worked hard to seem respectable. Clean doorstep, polished shoes, tidy children. You didn't air problems publicly. Behind closed doors, life could be chaotic, but outside, the curtains stayed open and the smiles stayed fixed. Neighbors were both friends and judges. A perfect garden or freshly painted door wasn't pride, it was proof you were decent. Today, we chase authenticity. Back then, people survived on appearances. Number 12. Racial and cultural ignorance. Britain in the 1960s was becoming more diverse, but understanding lagged far behind. Immigrants from the Caribbean, India, and Africa faced daily prejudice. Casual racism was socially acceptable, in language, in jokes, even in job adverts. The color bar existed quietly in pubs and housing. Few questioned it, fewer challenged it. To modernize, it's unthinkable, but in the 1960s, many saw it as just the way things were. Progress took decades, and the echoes of that era still linger today. Number 13. Men never showing weakness. Masculinity meant toughness. If a man cried, he was told to pull himself together. If he struggled, he kept it quiet. The pressure to appear strong was immense. Silent suffering was honorable. Even illnesses were hidden. Men worked through pain, through grief, through everything. It wasn't bravery, it was expectation. Today, vulnerability is respected. Back then, it was something to hide. Number 14. Smoking everywhere. Cigarettes were practically part of the decor. At work, at home, on trains, in hospitals, smoke drifted through every corner of British life. Bus drivers smoked. Teachers smoked in the staff room. Even pregnant women did, believing it helped calm the nerves. Ashtrays were gifts. Cigarette adverts promised glamour and health. The air was thick, and so was the denial. When the first no smoking signs appeared, people thought it was absurd. Today, lighting up indoors feels like lighting a fire alarm. But in the 60s, a room without smoke was the odd one out. Number 15. The world moved slower, and that was fine. Life in the 1960s in Britain was patient. Letters took days, queues were long, phones were rare. Plans changed slowly. People showed up when they said they would. Delays weren't disasters, they were normal. Now we expect instant everything. Messages, meals, updates. But back then, the waiting was part of life. It gave space for thought, and sometimes that's what we've lost most of all. The 1960s weren't perfect, but they had a rhythm and certainty that shaped a generation. Some customs were stifling, some comforting, some just plain odd, but all of them built the world that came after. Looking back, we see how far we've come, and maybe how much we've traded along the way. Which one of these surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from Britain's past.
No, hands up, okay. I admit, it wasn't until I started that and I realised I hadn't changed the feature. Now, some of you will recognise that. some of you hadn't seen it, admittedly, but we have. Thanks to Kit Parker, who said you showed this a few weeks ago. Yes, I realised that after it was running, but I thought, well, some of people said I haven't seen this. I thought, well, let it run anyway. The feature I should have put in there, I'll show you next week. So it's as simple as that, really. Anyway, lots of comments on that video as well. And Carol Beasley just said we're on about people being in pyjamas and stuff and what. And she said, I saw somebody shopping in their pyjamas and slippers the other day. I felt positively overdressed. We're on about how people, you dress up in the 60s before you went out, even if you're just going up the shops. You made an effort. I can remember that very much so. And people also struggling with the aneogram. So I'm going to give you a clue in just a moment. Yes, I'm going to give you a clue to that in just a moment. Anyway, Dave B said in the 1960s, somehow I managed to ignore all the nonsense and take my own view of life. And he did. And he worked on the railways, and a good job he did too. Well done, David. Okay then, Jan Kirby said, we used to wash up the cups and saucers in the staff room after breaks in my junior school. It was like a fog, yeah. And you just get the hot water was, weren't it? Now, health and safety wouldn't let you do that today, that's for sure as well. Okay, one more time through the quiz, and I will give you some sort of clue for the anagram in just a moment, because obviously, I'd obviously got thinking I was really clever, and it's not. Anyway, so what is a motorway called in Germany? I think most of us would know that anyway, I should imagine. Question 2. After how many years of marriage would you celebrate your ruby anniversary? And number 3, how much liquid can a flagon hold? Give us a couple of flagons full, that'll do. So that's that. Now, this is interesting. I gave you a cryptic clue, say, you might just learn something here. And I said, think local, okay? So all I'd say to you now is, where would you go to learn? And think local. Now then. So there's some local, I'm giving it away now, I know. Local seats of learning, but it's not just one here, trust me. So that's what you've got to, gardening, you see, you have to give it away. You just can't keep a secret, can you? So we're looking at local seats of learning, okay? I just thought some of you would be clever enough to get it in first go, like Mr. Smugley, who's very quiet this evening. Anyway, there you go. Now then, meanwhile, back at the ranch and back in the chat room, we're talking about people, like I say, dressing up, or indeed how they don't bother today. They tend to wear these baggy jogging bottom stuff, but you just know they're not going for a jog, are they? And Kevin Beasley said, I would refuse to serve them in my shop. Well, Kevin, that's your prerogative, and probably what I mean. I always think I like to be reasonable when I go out, but I wouldn't go out with jogging bottoms on or anything like that. To lounge around home with, yeah, that's fine what you do. But no, I would never do that. You know, constantly. Do these jeans look all right? You know, that sort of thing. Anyway, Jennifer said, I love the video. I must say, I do hate the casual dress today. Don't people look more scruffy today? When that film was running, I was saying everyone just looks smarter. You know, but some of the fashions don't help, I don't suppose, really. And can you see, people pay silly prices for jeans that have been shredded to pieces. And the old adage, as we had a few weeks ago, a fool and their money are soon parted. Very true. Absolutely it is. Anyway, there we go. So now I'll give you some clues on the old anagram. I expect some sort of answers there. So basically, where would you go? If we were to learn something, where would you go? Think on them lines. Think local. So, you know, you're looking at them sort of establishments. Just two. I'm just a soft touch. I'm just a soft touch. Okay. Now then, a reminder, our social night coming up later this month, we have Paul Williams coming to talk about getting water to Hinckley. It's going to be a fascinating talk. I know the water was piped through from Snareston. And, of course, it'd be part, as you will hear about, it was come from Snareston, piped to Hinckley, up to the water tower, where it would then be distributed around the town, etc. But there's quite an interesting story behind that. So that's at our next social night coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So be there or be a strange shape. And a reminder that, of course, it will be our Good Causes presentation night in February. So we always have a full night there. So always look forward to that night as well. The fundraisers are meeting a week on Monday to decide who gets what, where, when, and how. So looking forward to getting that done. So we need to contact the good causes that have been nominated so they can come along and stuff. Anyway, then. Yes. Now then, so that's that. And I've also been in touch. You'll be pleased to know Eddie Smallwood is well. He's back. I've yet to book him. He's going to send me some dates when he can come to talk to us and pick up where he left off on his vast repertoire of talks that he does. He's been quite poorly, but he's a lot better. He's now doing talks again, and I've asked him to get in touch so we can sort some dates out for the future. So we're looking forward to having Eddie Smallwood back with us shortly. Okay then, so there's a quiz. Now then, I promised you earlier on that we were going to go for a dip in Stony Cove. So I hope you've all got have you all got your swimming kit? Yeah, jolly good. Now don't forget, leave your towels out the back because you'll need them shortly as well. Oh, and by the way, and as Dangerous Den just said, good to hear about Eddie. Is Steve Picker okay? Yes, Steve's okay. If you missed I did mention it the other week. Steve is giving up doing nosying as such. He said he'll just do the odd one every now and again. We've got a good back catalogue of some of his noses, so we will feature them on an occasional basis here on our live stream, and some are well worth another playthrough. Anyway, we all like how Steve gone doing his nosing, but he's moving on to other things. I think he's concentrating on his music career now, you know. Maybe we ought to get him to come and bang a few songs out one night at the social night. Just a thought. John Denny. I've got the anagram. If you can change your letter. I'm not changing letters. I'm not in the mood for changing letters. Anybody? No, we're not changing letters. We will see. We will see what you come up with very, very shortly, because we've got our last feature of the evening. And as I say, a dip in Stony Cove. Now, this was only last month. I was really pleased to find this, because I spend a lot of time trawling YouTube and places like that. And when I see something, I thought, oh, that'll be of interest, and particularly it's a local interest as well. So let us see as we go for a dip. I've got to make sure I click the right button now. Wait a minute. It should be that one. It should be on there. Oh dear. Well, I think it's feature one. I should just go for feature one. I've got so many bits of paper here on my desk that, yes, here we go. Yes, it should be. Well, we're going to see in a minute, because these have all got mixed up on my desk while I've been. Yes, here it is. It is feature number one in my list here. So take a nice deep breath. It's a bit chilly, but it's worth the dip. Here we go. Let's go diving in Stony Cove. And there we go. What about that then? Interesting. I thought that was fascinating for the simple reason, for those of us that don't dive, but have heard about the various things that are buried in Stony Cove, that was really good, and it was nice and clear as well. And obviously the sound was extremely low. And of course, you couldn't really add much more to that. But Kevin Beasley says, he said, I remember looking over the edge in the 50s when it was still being worked. Yes, of course, it's filled up, and people sort of forget that nowadays. But there is loads of different things that have been deliberately sunk into there. We've just seen that bus, for example. Apparently, the bus got in there because he wanted to dip his headlights. But Carol says it's really interesting. Great to see what's down there. Absolutely. There's helicopters and goodness knows what down there. And as Jan says, my son's been diving there and my daughter-in-law swims there. And sometimes it looks rather foreboding, rather them than me. Yes, I get that too. But yeah, anyway, you see the Christmas tree? Brilliant. I wonder if they've been in... You see, you wouldn't take a Christmas tree down, would you? You'd take the Christmas tree up when you took it down. You see what I mean at the end of the Christmas season? Let's take the Christmas tree down, and then let's take it up. Amazing. Anyway, some good stuff in there anyway. And Kath Denny said, love that film. And I did while we were going there, Mrs. G was getting the anagram sorted, said, you have Mr. D. So you should add a D. So Mr. Smuggley has rightly said, yes, you can, if you add that D, then you'll get your answer. So I know that's going to make your night. It's because I do these things so quickly. Now, if you would like, and I would quite happily go along with this, if you think you can do a quiz, 4 questions or 3 questions and an anagram, and send it to me, I'd really, would save me some time. So if you would, if you want to do that, feel free to do so. You know how to email me and contact me. But 3 questions. Ideally with a local question in at once, but you don't have to worry about that. And an anagram, and I always like to try and make the anagram local if I can, but it's no big deal if you can't. Then please do, because I would love that. It would save me a lot of time. And you get the full credits on the screen, by the way. Yeah, you do that for... yes. Good, yes. Oh, dear. Kevin putting a sad note in, my daughter's diving instructor died in there. Oh, dear, that's sad to hear there, Kevin, as well. Anyway, so... Meanwhile, I've got to remind you that on Saturday, the 31st of January, is the official unveiling of the Ada Lovelace statue. Now, you would have seen a lot of that on there in the group over the last sort of week or so. So it's been going really, really good. We got our Sue and I got our official invite today. So we should be there. It's been... So Saturday afternoon, I think it's the 31st off the top of my head. And anyway, 2 till 4, I think it is. But ultimately, they'll unveil it around about 2 o'clock. And yeah, you're welcome to come along. But so we've been invited to this little after reception thing, so I'm told. So I've got to spread the bread and butter. Absolutely right. Okay then. So Ada Lovelace being officially unveiled on, say, the end of the month, of Saturday afternoon. Everyone's welcome to come along and actually see the official unveiling. And say we will be there as well. Looking forward to that. That will be good. Now then, John Denny saying that film you just showed, Paul, reminds me of the Jacques Cousteau film. Remember them? Oh, yeah, now you're showing your age, Mr. Smuggler. Yes, I remember them too. So and Jan says... and Jan's just said it in the chat room there. Mike and I have had an invite, but we'll be in Scotland. Oh, well, then suit yourself. But you could have come along. Would have been good. No, hope you have a nice time in Scotland, actually. And, yeah, there's something I could say about Scotland that happened to me today, but I can't mention it here on air because it's sensitive. Now... So let's go through those questions one more time. You can start to put your answers in. Once again, the anagram is missing a D. So if you're floating around, as I say, we're looking for local places of learning. Yeah. So that was the general clue of it. See if you can get it now. But let's go through the quiz one more time. So I want you to give me the answers now. The answers to this one first. Question number 1. What is a motorway in Germany called? So, have a think, but it's pretty easy, actually, and I know a lot of you will get that. So, Jennifer comes straight in with the correct answer, and she spelt it correctly, too. And Dennis has got it right. Well done, Dangerous Den. And Carol Beasley coming in with the correct answer of Autobahn. Yes, and Mr. Smuggler's in there. I like this. What Jan's just put up. Autobahn. Exit in German is Ausfahrt. Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like Ausfahrt. I love it. Behave, Gardner. Yes, Autobahn is the correct. Autofahrt. I can just see that now. You get off at the Autofahrt. Yeah. Can we do that? Oh, and Jennifer's ahead. You all ahead. I've not even put it up yet. Question 2. How many years of marriage would you celebrate on your ruby anniversary? So correct answer from Jennifer, from Carol, and from Dennis, of course. 40 years, I tell you. 40 years. Yes, all coming in with the correct answer of 40 years. So well done for getting that one right. Okay, then. Shall I put the next question up, or are you going to answer it before I put it up? I don't know. Now, here we go. How much liquid can a flagon hold? Yes, well, I'm just waiting for it now. Wait a minute. Oh, Jennifer's in litres, is she? Okay, well, I'm going to give you that, Jennifer, because for the simple reason... funny trying to interpret this as you go through, to be perfectly honest. Let's just see if anybody else puts the answer in. Yes, Jan Kirby's put the correct answer in. Mr. Smugly, no. Well done, Jane. Dennis, you'd have to be different, wouldn't you? Well, the correct answer we're looking for, a flagon, is 2 pints, please. Just a mere 2 pints. We don't do litres here, Jennifer, but I'm going to give you that because you gave me the 2. So there we go. And eventually, well done, by the way. So the correct answer, is 2 pints, please. And there you go. Now, there is a D missing from this, I have been informed. Absolutely. Mr. Smugly says, I'll have you know, I've got 4 different size flagons here, so hard to guess. He's always got a get-out clause, hasn't he? You ever noticed that? Okay, John, but well done. Right. Barking Blotto, Mormon, Roderick, missing a D, local seats of learning in the Hinckley area, so we were looking for some schools, weren't we? But which 3 schools were hidden in there? I'm just waiting to see if anyone's got that. Jane, I've got no idea on the aniogram. Jane. Good job, the school you're at is not in that list, isn't it? Let's just see if anybody else gets... John Denny, here we come. Yes, John Denny's correct on that one, with the Battling Brook, Redmore, and Richmond. Now, admittedly, for those of you that don't live in the town, you obviously wouldn't know that, but these can be found, if you listen to the subtle clues. So, but once again, if you think you can do better and you would like to do as a quiz, then let us know. You only email 3 questions and an anagram if you want. By all means, that'd be great. That'd be brilliant. That'd be great. I'm just thinking Dennis Perkins saying, wife is right, I'm clueless. And well done, Jane Brown. She said, I got Battling Brook and Albert Road out of it. Oh, well, you did differently to everybody else, Jane. Anyway, Alan Kropp said, that's 3 for us. It's 3 for us. Then they're the easy ones, and 2 for Carol Beasley as well. How did anybody get 4 out of 4 there? I think we might have a couple of there. Yeah, Mrs. G just put her hand up. She said, please, I got 4. Okay. Jennifer says, yes, I know now. I thought it was the only place. And Anna says, 3 for me, well done. She said, I got the easy 3, failed on the anagram, admittedly. No, it's when I don't get time to do these things and I rush them and then I miss letters out. But anyway, of course, I always know Mr. Smugly's got me back. I know that. But anyway, well done to all of you and just taking part in the programme tonight. So it's always nice. It's nice that we gather on these dark winter evenings, but knowing full well that each week we meet, that we've had about, best part of 15 minutes added to the light in the week overall. So it's a couple of minutes, usually about a minute, 2 minutes a day. So it starts to suddenly draw out, and that's really, really, really welcome because it just seems to be dragging on a little bit now. I always found January, years ago when I used to do the pantomime, I mentioned pantomime again, I always used to find that the pantomime got me all the way through January, and the time February come, you just started to see that little bit of extra light at the end of the day, which was nice. But the time you got to March, of course, you were doing the clocks. So, but it's always a long month, isn't it? Christmas and all the rest of it. But I'm glad you all enjoyed it tonight. Well, I hope you have anyway. But if you want to send me some questions, please do. I'll be happy for you to take your questions. Honestly, really, really would. And people saying good night there already. They want me to go. They want me to go. I can't blame them. Who wants to be looking at this silly old face all night now? Oh, by the way, Queen Bee, we'll give her a quick shout out. Queen Bee, she likes to watch this on her big flat screen TV, but doesn't necessarily watch it live these days because she tends to watch something else first. Then she watches us later on YouTube. So we better give her a mention as well. And as I say, the fundraisers meeting week on Monday at Betty's Place and 7 o'clock. So we'll be letting you know what good causes have been nominated and indeed how much they'll all be getting. It's all thanks to you for supporting what HDPP does over every 12 months. So there we go. It's great. Anyway, Jan Kirby said, get down the cellar. I haven't forgot Alan Kropp's request. He wants me to show the ghost gag and also doing the cellar routine. I think I've got a plate smashing routine as well somewhere on video. Once again, it's getting time to go and do it, but all good suggestions anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed it tonight, and like I say, I'll be back next week. We'll do it all over again. I'll be here if you can be there. That's what I'll say. It's lovely to have your company, and once again, I'll catch you soon. In the meantime, take care. See you soon. Ta-da.
We're making history.
Crank that up when I was listening to the water. Another rule of broadcasting, turn your mic off. Oh, naughty boy tonight. Good job I didn't start swearing. I just telling Mrs. G, because all of a sudden the speakers come on loud here in the studio. And I'd remembered I'd cranked it up so I could hear the water in that last feature you see, and then forgot to turn it back off here in the monitor. Never mind. Anyway, for those of you that know, you come back here on a Sunday night just to hear one or two dad jokes. And if you're ready, I can get through them very, very quickly now. So, why did the puppy sit in the shade? Because he didn't want to become a hot dog. An easy one for you now. What do you call a deer with no eyes? Well, it's a no idea, of course. Why does a farmer mend his overalls? How does a farmer mend his overalls with cabbage patches? Clever. Police have arrested the world tongue twister champion. They say he'll be given a tough sentence. Meanwhile, how does NASA organise a party? They plan it. Clever play on words there. And finally, this morning, a clown opened the door for me. I thought to myself, that's a nice gesture. Take care. See you next week. Ta-da.